Welcome to Alpha Wolf Capital. I'm Tim, and I want to personally thank you for stopping by. This channel is designed to help small companies, both public and private, gain exposure with potential consumers, investors, even partners. Take, for example, today's guest, CEO Jeff Thompson of RCAT Holdings. RCAT is a drone company that supplies drone products and defense technologies and solutions. Recently expanded into maritime with some autonomous boats, which are in progress. And we should be seeing the first few demos within the next several weeks or a couple of months. Uh, Very exciting company, without question, an impact company. This company is all about supplying our war fighters with the proper tools to stay safe and come home alive. Uh, Primarily a defense and technology company. And I'm going to let Jeff tell you more about that in just a moment. This is not to be taken as investment advice. I am not a certified financial planner. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. I encourage everyone to do their own due diligence. Hey, everybody, Tim from Alpha Wolf Capital coming at you with a long overdue follow up, one of my favorites of all times. Red Cat Holdings, Jeff Thompson. What's happening, Jeff?
Everything. We're uh we're all over the globe right now. We're split. We got people at Repmis. I'm leaving and going to meet some really important parts of the Army to do some flying tomorrow and Friday. Um, we've been at a whole bunch of different events for different parts of our business. Now that we're truly, multi-domain. We have a weapon systems for our boats, and now we add our, swarms, and there's just so much going on right now. It's sweeps week, and everyone's pretty darn busy.
So look, I'm not gonna. This may upset some people, but I'm not gonna name or talk about the two hit pieces that have been out there and all the stuff. I would just come back with this. You just raised how much money?
172 million with the shoe.
So, $172 million. Was that a difficult race?
No, we it was less than a half of afternoon. We had almost 500 million in demand. We basically don't even have to do real road shows right now. There's so much demand, but it was a public offering, so we had to do the uh, after hours pitch to a bunch of folks. But we literally had almost 500 million in demand. We were just going out to raise about 100. A lot of it's pointed at blue ops. We're building a pretty massive factory down in Georgia, 155,000 square feet. We just moved in September 1, but we had so much demand when we were trying to raise 100. We were able to push it up to 130 million and push the price up. And then we pushed the price up one more time to get 150 million, and we stuck there. And we could have taken almost a $500 million, but we feel like we're very fully financed with over $200 million in the bank right now. Huge amount of demand, which is great because the stocks reacted great since we did the offering. All those people that got cut back are probably buying in the open market, which is great. We get some great institutions. Uh, you know, it's great having our institutional investor base grow dramatically. Um, it's one of the reasons that we switched to KPMG, a top four. Our banking relationships are growing dramatically with some of the best in the world, if not the best. And everything's just going in the right direction in the drone space, not just for Red Cat, for a lot of companies, but we need lots of drones, we need lots of boats, we need drones and boats combined, missiles combined. It's basically we need to supply some missile systems, weapon systems, to the warfighter.
Right. So I guess that would be how I would come back to any of those any of the hit pieces, right?
I don't think
Because
about them 1 second of any day.
yeah, I'm
So
sure you
I
don't.
don't want to give them any more time on this either.
uh, there is one thing that I did want to ask about though, and that was the George, because I read through some of the filings, and I just want to highlight. I just want to ask one question:
Okay.
is it true that he took a job in July of 2024, but did not actually tell the company Red Cat until November?
I forget the exact date he told us, but it was right around then. But yeah, it's that's all public information. You can go look that up.
Yeah,
I've got a lot of pings about that. Yeah, but he took the job in July 2024, according to what his lawyers posted. And
yeah,
again, that's all online. That's another thing that we got to protect our company, and we will. But we're moving forward, not backwards.
I understand. I understand, but I just wanted to hit that touch point.
You're
Let's
you're doing all the salacious stuff first here. Let's get back. Let's get into building stuff.
all right. Let's talk about some of the partnerships that you've announced recently, like Safe Pro, right? Um,
They do mine detection, which is pretty impressive stuff. They've been doing a lot of work in the Ukraine. Um, and we're starting to do a lot more stuff over there ourselves. And yeah, I think it's a great technology. We're trying to integrate it right now. They've already integrated some of it on the Teal 2 and demonstrated it. So uh, it'll be an option for our customers. If they want that, they'll be able to select that.
Real quick, let's talk about how about your production capacity or ability?
Everyone always says this, and it's in the reverse, So, um, like I said, if we produce 500 Black Widows, just Black Widows, we won't even talk about Blue Ops yet or Flight Wave, a month out of the factory, which is very easily done. Um, it's like 18 million a month, and doing 1,000, which is uh, also easy for us. That's only 50 a day. Uh, that gives you like almost 37 million in revenue a month, and our goals are to we can build up to 5,000 a month if we want to. I mean, we actually did this fire drill for one group from the Department of War came to us randomly, and I think I mentioned this on one of our calls, and asked us how many Black Widows can we produce? Quick fire drill. We need to know by tomorrow. So we presented to them, and I think the number was about 5,000 a month starting in January. And if you want more, we can do more. It's all just we have to have our supply chain paid for up front to do that. We just need some warning.
Right.
And so the those numbers are not daunting to us at all, and is massive. And then 2 days later, the whole Hegseth video for Drone Dominance came out, so we kind of understood finally what that fire drill was all about.
All right. Edge 130. How is everything progressing there?
Yeah, up and down. I'll be very frank. It's very similar to when we took over the Golden Eagle. Um, Golden Eagle needed a lot of work, and we came out with the TL2, which was a pretty good bird. Actually, now it's a really good bird, and we're probably going to keep producing it because we have people still wanting it. Um, but the flight wave is in that same stage. The When it's flying and it's in the air, it's beautiful. It's got great flight time. It just needs some work on the gimbal and the payload. We want to put a much better camera on there. So we're probably going to just try to get as much of the backlogs uh, taken out of the way, and then really focus on getting the next version, which is the Triton. It'll be a little bit more hardened. It'll have EW radios in there with Doodle Labs probably, uh, and it'll have a much better gimbal system and a much better camera. So that bird will be a blockbuster. But we are taking over a company that we just bought last year, at the end of last year, and when you're making onesie twosies, you don't really find out the production hiccups that you can have to make something, be able to be mass produced. And, Sean Webb's identifying all that stuff. He did the same thing with the Switchblade 600 at AV. So he's kind of doing the same thing here. But I think the FlightWave Bird for early next year is going to be a very difficult drone to beat for what it does.
Okay. And then, of course, so I want to go on record as saying, when you announced the boat thing, to me, the boat thing, what is, how big is the boat? How the length? 7 meters?
We're going to have 5 or 6 different versions of it. I was just at the factory last week doing the prototypes up at Hodgdon Yachts. I mean, they make some of the most sophisticated boats for some of the most sophisticated people in the world. If you want a very sophisticated tender for your 400-foot yacht, you come to these guys. And for them to build their seaworthiness that they're going to bring to the table, the change in the hull design. I mean, these are one of the best boat builders in the world. That and we got to go see the Hinckley factory too to see a mass production line, which was very, very exciting. Actually, I mean, let me back up a little bit. So Sandy Spalding, our vice president of Blue Ops, showed me. Well, let me back up even further. So Sandy was at Bain Capital. I don't know if it's 25 years ago now, and they bought Hinckley Yachts. And when they bought Hinckley Yachts, they put him in charge. So when he got there, he's like, the boat stayed in one spot, and different teams came and put different stuff on it, carpentry, upholstery, and eventually you had a beautiful Hinckley yacht. Um, he said, "That's it. No, that's not how we're going to do it." He showed me where there was no buildings before he got there, and he built a brand new factory from the ground up. No buildings existed, and I got to see the factory that he built 20 something years ago. And they get on cradles and they go through this production line and they spit out a beautiful yacht at the other end. He did that from scratch. He's the one that found the factory in Georgia that was making 850 boats a year last year. I think it was Regal, but anyway, they moved to Orlando to consolidate, and we're taking over that factory, and we think we can produce more than 850 of our versions. There's no upholstery, there's no bathrooms, there's no plumbing. And the carpentry room that they had for carpentry that can be turned into more factory space just to build boats. The upholstery and all the other stuff. So we'll have a lot more capability than just 850 boats uh, in Georgia, and we're hoping our first hulls come online in January out of that factory. But we'll have 10 boats coming out of five out of our prototype shop and 5 from our partner that built the tech stack. That'll be basically getting driven around all over the United States doing demos late at the end of this quarter
So
coming
my
up.
concern was that you were undercapitalized. So when you did what you did, I was extremely pleased because now I think you're well capitalized. Would you agree
Yeah,
with
we're very well capitalized now, and you know the the team that we brought in to do this, they're gonna get mad when I say, but they are like swamp Yankee cheap. They will make sure that this thing gets profitable really quick. Um, Actually, Barry Hinckley, the president of Blue Ops, he's been all over the country. He's at Repmus, been there almost the whole month. And when he had a weekend off, he goes to the Ukraine. So he is just going after it. And bringing a lot to the table, and we got a little dream team here for the Blue Ops to build these things. We're some of the best boat builders in the world are building the hulls, best tech stack, put those things together, and everybody wants to see our boat.
you? That tech stack includes Palantir.
No, the tech stack's not from Palantir.
That's not going to be Palantir.
No,
Okay.
no, no. It's from a European country that's in the Ukrainian theater every single day,
Okay. But you're partnered up
very
with
successfully.
right. But you're partnered up with Palantir on other
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. We uh the thing that I've spent actually on Tuesday, whatever the 30th is next week. Uh, I'm going to Arkansas to see one of the final flights with the visual navigation with their team. So we're going to be doing some cool footage, get to see it fly, and then probably hear some announcements very soon about that product getting out there.
Okay. Okay. Um, you kind of brushed over it real quickly, but KPMG, I thought that's a big move, right? They're a top four.
Yeah, so we've got we're very acquisitive. The stuff we're looking at now is bigger. We are now we have to do Sarbox because of our market cap, and our older firm, which is great, by the way. There was no issues with them. They were just they didn't do the Sarbox portion, which is something we have to do now.
Starbucks, Sarbanes-Oxley, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we have to start doing that type of reporting because of our market cap is over 700 million now. So it was just preemptive to get them there, and we wanted them to be able to get in time to do our 10K, which makes, they'll review our Q3, and Q4 will be a K, which is a real actual audit. So we wanted to make sure that we had them in there to do a full audit going forward. So it was
Okay.
pretty excruciating going through that process, the due diligence that they do. But they're a great firm, and they're going to be a great partner.
Right. All right. So how many sizes of boats are there going to be?
Right now, we think there's going to be four, but there's probably going to be six. So what we're doing in at Hodgson's going to make all of our prototypes for years to come, and what they do is they develop the tooling, and once we have that, we bring the tooling down to Georgia, and we can stamp out a ton of boats. So if we find we're really concentrating on Sea State 4 and 5. You see a lot of boats out there right now that are, frankly, they're jokes. They can't handle Sea State 4 and 5. They
What does
are
that mean? What does that mean exactly? Sea state.
large
Okay.
seas, right? So you look at uh some of our competitors out there. They're building stuff that looks like a large surfboard, or the Gark. It's like it's an old jet ski that used to be made for rescuing surfers 15 years ago, and I think there's like $160 million contract out for that thing, and it is it's not very seaworthy. And So we're hoping to displace a lot of this with a proven product that's had proven success in the Black Sea every single day, and is 3 years old, mature stack. Our competitors were running into each other. It was that big Reuters article where they're running into each other during a demo in San Diego. It's it's just, that's not what you want. That doesn't show much confidence. So we're pretty excited where we are with the Blue Ops team. Like within months, we've accomplished so much, getting the contract with our tech stack, getting the prototypes done. The Hodgson team's been to Europe to see the hulls and know where they have to improve them. We've got a better propulsion system already, that the Navy's used to using. They guided us on that. So there's just some really interesting, cool stuff we're going to be doing with Blue Ops, and the speed of us getting this factory built is just going to be amazing.
So, do you feel as though the your stock price, the share price, reflects Blue Ops at all?
No, absolutely not. I would say most of the value that people are looking at right now is probably only based on the Black Widow and the demand for drones right now. If you look at you know, a peer that's private is Saronic. They raised, I think, 600 million at a $4 billion valuation, and uh, I'm not sure if they've built any boats yet. They might have. They weren't at Repmas this year. We didn't see them there. So the Their valuation's 4 billion, and we have a factory that's going to produce, you know, probably if we get the orders, we can produce over 1,000 boats next year. And the smaller one, the V5, the workhorse, which is, variant 5, is just stands for 5 meters. It has no special meaning. And That's mostly just a kinetic one-way unit. Those cost 500,000. Around 500 is what we're seeing in the market. So, if you sell 200 of those, that's a lot of revenue.
Yeah, that's not too shabby. Out. And what's the biggest boat? The biggest boat is 7, right?
No, no. The biggest we're looking at right now is the V11, but the V7 we think is going to become the workhorse because it's uh, the 7 meter version you can put missiles on it. It's got a launching pad for drones that come right out of it. We're trying to standardize the top deck plate so it can handle US made stuff that mounts. So we are, we'll have swarms on there. We'll have EW stuff to protect the bigger fleet behind us. We can go out and do electronic warfare. We have missiles. I mean, everybody, a lot of folks here in the U.S. that make missiles have all want to be on our boat. So again, we're kind of like the Black Widow is a platform, whatever options you want. This this these USVs are going to be like, again, here's our platform. What's your mission? You can put this on it. We actually at Retmus, they've got a machine gun on the front of it. It's insane. Um,
You're kind of like the Mission Impossible guys, huh? Right? I mean, you're like the lab that comes up with the stuff, right? For I mean, it sounds like it's so fun, man, what you do.
well, it's if you think about it, you can get these things way into country using these boats, and then you can use them as kamikazes for, once you depleted all the items. And again, it's always going to be math, right? These aren't, $30,000 drones taking on a $4 million tank, but they might be a 500,000 or $1 million boat taking out $1 billion boat, so it's always going to be a math drill. But the boats are giving us an entire new platform and basically self-create another market for us for the drones, for the USVs. This is a combo product now. So we'll never not
Makes sense.
have drones on these boats. They'll always launch with some just to do whatever we need.
And the Swarm, what company is that you teamed up with?
Oh, we've got a few. One of the ones that we just did a great demonstration was down at Fort Rucker, where I think it was Fort Rucker. The We were the introduction to a massive vendor day with about 40 vendors, but they saw our swarm capability during practice day, and they said, "We're moving you into the front position for the introduction." And they had some of the big wigs come in on a helicopter. They're playing music, and there's the Red Cat swarm with Teal 2s and Black Widows flying around. And I saw the video, man. It was just, it was, I got stoked just watching that and hearing the music play and seeing our swarm swarming around. We were the only ones that did swarm out of 40 vendors. So it's exciting stuff. Then we also work with Sentient. Um, they have the box that does like 20. And we've helped them quite a bit. They also have a box that does 80, but no one seems to understand what to do with 80 yet. I'm sure we'll find a reason. Uh, but yes, I truly believe swarming is going to be so crucial for the future. And some people are good at it and some people aren't, and it's hard to do.
Okay. Uh, you having fun, aren't you, man?
I love waking up and working at this company. It's great. Yeah, it's fun. It's I mean, it's just the people that we get to hang out with. Like I'm looking forward to flying with some of the people I'm going to get to meet with on this Friday, and then next week with the Palantir guys. The people that we're meeting for all this boat activity, the places I get to go visit. Fun, sometimes a little sketchy, but uh, and we got a great team. Everyone's pulling in the right direction, and everyone's go go go.
Yeah, it's the one thing that I guess maybe the intangible for me that I recognized in you very early on. I mean, you do love what you're doing, and uh, you have been a very transparent. You've done everything, Jeff, that you said you were going to do. It may
And
not be.
sometimes my dates are a little slow.
Well, that's the one thing I was going to say. The time frame is not always exact or precise.
Yeah, I'm not going
Then
to be
again,
making any time frames because I've learned very quickly, not very quickly. Maybe I've had to get bashed in the head a few times, but I can't control the government and when they sign stuff, so I'm not going to make any predictions ever again about when they sign stuff.
let's talk about the government. Let's talk about right now. With Hegseth and everything that's happened, the administration. Is this net all good for Red Cat?
Oh, absolutely. Secretary Hegseth I think he's doing a great job. He's getting things to move quick. Everyone says they're going to do that, but he's actually been doing it. That's really going to help us on the boat side with the new executive order for shipbuilding, the drone dominance executive order, and then him coming out and saying, on top of the executive order, we've got to get to drone dominance. And the conversations we're having about sweeps, they want to have drone dominance. I can tell you that right now. So I think this administration has been great for the entire drone industry, and we have some catch up to do, and the companies that are listening and utilizing what's going on in the Ukraine are going to be the winners, because the they're they're operating at the speed of war, and we're operating in the U.S. at like the speed of procurement processes. Our goal is to deliver products uh, that work there. And there's been a few, I don't know if they were generals or not, publicly saying if your stuff has not been tested over there, we're not going to use it. That's another goal for the Black Widow. We want to make sure it's very vetted over there. Now that we have some and we can get them in the wild, we want to, and it looks like the tone has changed from President Trump as of yesterday with the Ukraine war. So, um, giddy up. We want to get some stuff over there and help.
FPVs. Let's talk about that. You've said before that. I mean, it's a low dollar market, right? You're going to have to make a hell of a lot to make any money. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, we offer FANG. We have for a while now, and we originally were starting to get the Rotorite was still part of our company a couple years ago, where Drew and myself and the folks that did the PBAS requirements said, "Hey, we need some made in USA parts for FPV," and we started building the Brave 7 back then. And now I think it was the first flight controller to get approved on the Blue UAS list for UMAC, and now UMAC's got a motor company, and they got the ESCs approved. I think they got the VTX. I mean, they're in the goggles getting approved next. So we have product. We have FANG. It's just it is such a high volume business. um, my my opinions don't quite agree with actually my business sometimes. I've been in that space since 2016. um, but the volume that we need to replicate what they're doing in other countries is not going to be from one vendor. It's just impossible. No one's going to be able to take it over in one vendor. And I think they're trying to get it down to four in the PBAS selections. I think they'll quickly switch that back to as many as they can. And now kind of the rules are changing, where if you got NDA compliance stuff, the blue list is supposed to be upgraded like every month or instantaneously or whenever it is. So that'll allow people to buy more stuff if you're on that blue list. So procurement's going to change. And again, the winners are going to be the people that actually have stuff that work, that we know, right? So it's like, for instance, electronic warfare wasn't even part of the requirements for the SRR program. We're like, we're not going to give a soldier something that doesn't work in EW, and same with Palantir doing our visual navigation. They integrated that onto the Black Widow, and if you have to be able to perform in GPS denied locations, you just have to. There's never going to be a GPS available on any battlefield ever again.
Right.
And M code is crap. Those are the types of things you have to do. And then, does it still work every 6 months? You can't just say it works now, because the changes are going to be so rapid. Just like in Blue Ops, we're going to be offering new software probably every 3 months. It's coming out of a theater that's saying this doesn't work anymore. You should change to this. So,
It's that fast, isn't it?
it's
By the
it
time, I mean, that's where it's get almost concerning is that it's so fast that it's like by the time you get something built, it's already out. It doesn't work.
Yeah, that's the Black Widow. The modularity is the key to that, right? So you have to be able to swap out a radio and go to a new radio company if you had to, or get the hardware where there's a whole bunch of stuff that can't be affected by any of these changes, right? And then it's the software that can change rapidly to keep up with the enemies, and it's going to be cat and mouse for forever. It's never not going to be cat and mouse ever again.
I mean, like cybersecurity, right? I mean that
Yeah.
having somebody take control of your FPV drone and send it back to you is a pretty scary thought, right?
Well, FPVs don't have a lot of stuff that other than the controller. That's why they switch to fiber a lot. Um, and but they don't have a lot of, like, they don't even use GPSs. And they have some pretty cool tech that they can actually do now with pixel lock. But it's more like the Mavics and or drones like ours, like the SRR birds that they try to take over, uh,
Right.
and some of our competitors have had their drones taken over in very small amount of time.
That's scary. That's the
Yep.
scary part, right?
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
so you're having fun, but do you lose any sleep worrying about all this shit?
No, we're very well financed. We're listening to the warfighter on the features. We're building a great team. We've got, I think, one of the best weapon systems out there, combining our boats with our drones. We're partnering with some of the best companies out there for you know, ground, for tanks, everything. We're partnered with, you name it. Everybody that has a RFP or something that needs a small drone, they use us. So but the rate of change in technology, that's probably my biggest fear. I don't have to worry about finance. Don't have to worry about, we're building a great team. So I would just say is, how do we keep up with the rate of change, more so for like the Black Widow than Blue Ops, because that's kind of built into our partnership that we're going to have that rate of change constantly. Um, but with the Black Widow, I want to make sure that we keep up with it. And once FlightWave switches over to the Triton, same thing there.
Right, right. And so Triton, when do you think that actually that you make the changes there?
Uh, we'll talk about that soon. We're going as quickly as we can on that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Um, you think we missed anything, man?
No, I mean, you've been, I haven't been ghosting you. I've been all over the globe. And as soon as we finish up here, I got like a few hours, I get another plane, and then I get another plane. So there's a lot going on. I mean, again, the Blue Ops opportunity, which we're not getting any credit for right now, which I think is great, is there's so much to do, like the war with the cartel, the Gulf of America, that could be protected with these things and not need all these human beings. And you can go 24/7, and there's no humans involved, so you can keep these things out there for days on end. Our partner actually refuels them with drones, so they can stay out there for almost ever. It's just a refueling process.
How does that work?
It's the one of the drones that they use for drops. They can actually put that same amount of pounds of diesel and just get to it, and they figured out the whole mechanism. So these are things that our competitors in the US haven't even thought about yet.
Wow. That's cool as hell.
Yep.
So when do you feel as though that facility is going to be completed in Georgia? I mean,
We're hoping sometime in December, and we're hoping to start having some
go
of our
that
first
fast.
boats come out in Q1, and we're hoping to sell boats in Q1. So this
Wow.
is these guys know what they're doing. This is building the boats is the easy part for them. They're just like, how do we navigate, pun intended, the Navy and the Coast Guard and Border Patrol and all these places where we need to sell this. But Repmus has been very successful for us in that aspect, and everyone's feeling pretty pumped after this month.
So you're expanded with all those. I mean, you're working pretty well with all of those different divisions now, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've already been going across almost every division with even with the TL2, but now we get the Black Widow, and now we got this boat. So everyone needs, and people don't know. A lot of people don't know. I didn't know at first. Is that the Army has more boats than the Navy, and they are old and they need to be replaced. So we're pretty excited about that.
I didn't know that. I would
Yeah,
have never guessed that, right?
yeah,
Interesting. But
yeah.
then again,
And these boats.
Army's the oldest, right, of all of them.
Yeah, so you look at just think of all the different use cases of, the V7 with a machine gun on the front of it. deploying for, special forces up in a river where, you put these out in front and clear it, and they come in, the humans come in behind them, hopefully, saving lives and killing bad guys.
Yeah, it is. You do have a cool job, man. I got to tell you, it's. I mean, it's unfortunate that we have to have it, but it is what it is. That's reality. That's the way the world works, right?
Yeah,
So,
we have thousands of these things around our coasts, and thousands of these in, the Taiwan Strait. Maybe certain things won't happen.
right. All right. So, Jeff, got to come back. Anything you feel as though we missed here?
The only thing that's I think we didn't talk about yet is where we're going starting in Q3. And so right now, every week, every month, every quarter for the foreseeable future is going to be a record revenue. And that's starting in Q3 here. So we're off to the races finally.
Okay, that's that's a good way to end this.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the truth.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
No, oh wait, I don't know if we covered this or not. It's been a long, but I am not selling any shares.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Uh, if I sell shares, you'll see a Form 4, which you have not seen a Form 4. So what I do is I do a Rule 144, and I can use up to that amount of shares to just get a loan instead of selling. I don't want to sell down here.
Investors are going to love hearing it too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to love seeing every quarter from now on. And that's not even, wait till Blue Ops gets going. I mean, it's just like, I can't wait to get into that factory and see the first boat come out of that factory in Georgia. It's going to be so much fun.
I actually, when you get that thing up and running,
You
I
should
would
come
love.
out.
That's what I would like to do.
Absolutely. We'll do a show from the floor.
Yeah, that I think that would be cool as shit, man.
That'd be fun. I'll fly you out.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, man.
So, all right, I got to leave. I got to go crawl around in the mud with the 101st on Friday.
All right. Well, have a good time crawling around in the mud.
Yeah, they'll laugh at the fat guy. So I'll end with that. I got to get back to work.
All right, Jeff, man. I really appreciate you taking the time and doing this. Hey,
No problem. I
keep
was
doing it.
just
Keep doing an awesome job, brother.
I appreciate it.
All right. Hold on one second. Thank you for tuning in to another CEO interview here at Alpha Wolf Capital. Today we had Jeff Thompson with Red Cat Holdings. I hope you enjoyed today's interview, and if you did, do us a favor, give us a like. How about giving us a share? And while you're at it, make sure you smash that subscribe button. All of those things are extremely important to us here at Alpha Wolf Capital, and we appreciate you taking the time to do that. Until next time, stay safe. Alpha Wolf Capital wishes you the very best of success.